Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Feeding the Curious Mind. My name's John Pullen and I'm a writer of fiction and non-fiction books. Most of you have probably taken at least one flight in an aircraft, perhaps to go on holiday or business or just pleasure. I spent 30 years as a pilot and there are many aspects to flying which perhaps many passengers wouldn't know about. So here's a couple of quirky ones. When an aircraft climbs or descends, a number of passengers will mention that their ears are popping because of a change in pressure. So they may ask, why change the pressure in an aircraft? Why not just keep it at sea level when you get aboard, and therefore it just remains the same, and therefore there's no chance of pressure change? Well, if we assume that the aircraft is cruising at, say, 36,000 feet, and we have pressure at sea level in the cabin, then the pressure difference is 36,000 feet. Now, this means that there is a great amount of pressure inside the cabin pushing outwards. Now, outside, the pressure is very low. So it's a temperature. In fact, at about 36,000 feet, the temperature is about minus 60 degrees Celsius. So if we now depressurize the cabin to, say, 6,000 feet, the pressure difference is now 36,000 minus 6, which is 30,000 feet. Does this make a big difference? Yes, it does. You see, if we have the pressure difference of 36,000 feet, we would need to strengthen the fuselage. That means that the aircraft becomes heavier. That means it's going to use more fuel. And that means that your ticket price is going to increase. At 6,000 feet cabin pressure, that's not a problem for passengers. Now, there's another aspect to all of this. Is it possible to open the door while the aircraft is in flight? Well, I can tell you now that the doors are not locked during a flight. So could somebody intentionally or unintentionally be stupid enough to try and open it? Well, they could try, but they're not going to succeed. You see, once again, because of the pressure pushing outwards, they're not going to be able to open the door. Now, this might sound a little bit strange as the door opens outwards, but it doesn't. If you look, next time you've landed in an aircraft, check what the cabin crew are doing. Before they open the door outwards, they have to pull it inwards before it moves outwards. Therefore, pulling it inwards with the pressure difference makes it impossible for any human being to be able to open that door, unless of course you're Superman. There's another quirky question I've got for you. What tastes better in the air, tea or coffee? Please don't say beer, whiskey or wine. Now, once again, if we look at the pressure in a cabin at 6,000 feet, that means that water will boil at a lower temperature. So at 6,000 feet, water is going to boil not at 100 degrees Celsius, but at about 90 degrees Celsius. And a number of tea drinkers will tell you that tea tastes much better as long as it's made with boiling water. Whereas coffee, you can get away with it being a little bit cooler. Therefore, if the tea is at 90 degrees and not boiling at 100 degrees, then it's quite likely that the coffee will on average taste a little bit better.